Drink, mate. Dan, got a drink.
Today.
Well, tough one. Tough, really tough. But, you know, it's always an excuse, but we've got 2 or 3 missing. Yeah, front row struggle a bit, but I mean they've been all right. You know, they've been playing well, the guys. I suppose we'll find out later on. But you know, great, isn't it? Just so many games cancelled today. It's lovely we got a game.
Yeah, I'm head coach at Chew Valley. I've got cancelled.
Oh yeah.
Disappointing really because it's a bit late in the day.
Is it a COVID thing? Yeah.
It's strange that they can get a second team now.
Oh right.
They're not doing too well.
No, they're having a tough time. We played them last week and 52-0 at half time. It was hard. Yeah. Oh, did you? Well, I'm getting it working today. It'll be all right. But at the moment, I've got a real hassle. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Christmas function on as well, that VP's lunch.
Oh yeah. Just costs a fortune, doesn't it? You lose money. Yeah, I know. YouTube.
3 more postponed in the league as well.
Yeah, and it's all over the place. It's everywhere. You know, there's just a possibility. I know you don't want to think it, but it's going to be the last game of the season. Yeah, we do hope not. No, I'll tell you what, you don't have to appreciate the games again when you have your 18 months off, don't you? You really do, don't you?
Just bring your umbrella.
For fuck's sake. 2 watching.
Bernard said he wants to talk to me.
I can't, not at the moment, Fred. I'm right in the middle. I've got hassle, and unless I sort it out, I'm up shit's creek.
I'll tell him I didn't want to
Didn't want to what?
speak to him.
Okay. Who do you want to talk to? Bernie?
Oh,
Well, when I get going. Oh, actually, hold on a minute. Oh, I've got action, but it's not showing in the live feed. Just mute, backspace. Right, we're in business, we're working. You can watch it on your phone. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think I've got to get it home and edit it tonight. And the trouble is, it takes. The editing's not didn't take so much time. It's like the file that you finished with is like 17. It takes like 4 hours to upload, then you process it, so it takes you an hour. If I don't do it tonight, it ends up being tomorrow night. But it's all right. Over last week we had about. I lost the stream after half an hour. The battery died. Just gone. Boom. Stopped. We had about 600 watts.
Is this where they're playing, isn't it?
Yeah. I hope so. Bloody hell. If not, I'm in trouble.
Nice flat pitch anyway.
All set up?
That's what. Yeah, that's the time. Live stream from 1:30ish, which was 20 minutes ago. So I'll do the introduction in a moment. Actually, I'll just show you. So if I get rid of 6, I want to get rid of 1. That's now what they're watching. That's what I follow. I'm still muted, so there's no difference. But that's what they're seeing now. So I need to do the introduction. Just check the levels are right. No, too high. Excuse me, Fred. Excuse me, Fred. Can I speak in there?
Apparently the Voice can't get any of the names right in the paper.
Sorry?
The Voice. They keep getting the names muddled up, don't they? You see the Voice last week?
I don't buy it normally.
Eh? Oh, right. Got all the names
They
wrong.
do have a tendency to make a piece in the paper and they miss half of it out.
Well, yeah, well, they just got the names wrong last week. They said Dan Tyrrell was Kevin Boyer. Kevin Boyer wasn't even in the side.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
It's not hard, is it? Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go for it. Just want to put this bloody thing. Tell you what, Dan, it's a shame he's not starting today, isn't it? He's unlucky, the old boy.
Well, I would have put CJ in fullback and Dan in back.
That's exactly what I'd done. That's exactly what I'd have done.
I think Archie's a very good player,
Yeah.
but he's not a game changer.
No.
He's a solid, good.
Yeah. I agree.
For a game like this, when we've got a few injuries, we need someone to.
I agree. And he's so unlucky. To be honest, he's so unlucky not to be starting, I think. But we can moan about it.
There's no good moaning about it.
No, there isn't.
Coaches
No,
pick
just-
the team.
Yeah, that's their decision.
Yeah.
Are you doing all right?
Yeah, not so bad yourself.
All good.
He's
All
enjoying
good.
his rugby, that's the main thing.
He's such a talented boy, isn't he? He's
Set
not
up.
going to stay there.
I'm all set up. Graham's all set up.
He's ready to go. I'm going to introduce
Everything's
him.
all good?
Yeah.
What more?
This will be a tough game, I think.
It is going to be a tough game, no doubt about
It's
it.
gonna be-
Okay. You have to excuse me. I'm going to be
Yeah,
talking.
that's fine. I'll leave it.
You're right. I'll see you in a bit.
There's a tip.
A very good afternoon. You've just joined us. Sorry, I'm a little bit late starting. One of those things, I'm afraid, took longer to set up. But as you can see from the live picture, the boys are out there. Well, at least keynsham are out there warming up. St Austell warmed up already, and they've made their way back to the clubhouse. So it gives us a chance just to introduce some of the game today to you. And let's start off with recent form. Here is recent form by both sides. As you can see from that, keynsham had a cracking win last week against Old Pats away, winning by 22 points to 15. Week before that, they lost away at Newington, and one before that, a very close game here, where they lost by 2 points to Lydney. St Austell Super win last week against a very tough Crediton side. I think maybe the score flattered the Saints a little bit, that's my view. But they came away as 36 points to 8 victors. And then probably their best game of the season so far was the week before that, where they won away at league leaders Chew Valley 6-19. 2 tries in the second half, one by Matt Shepherd, one by Matt Boothby, both of whom are here today, of course. And before that, Saints lost away to Thornbury 33-27 with a late try to Thornbury, who I think probably deserved their victory. No doubt about that at all. That leaves us with the table as it stands at the moment. As you can see, St Austell sitting pretty at the top of the table, 4 points away ahead of Devonport Services, and irrespective of what happens in this game today, Saints will stay at the top because the Chew Valley's game and Devonport Services games have been cancelled. Devonport don't have a game, but Chew Valley's game been cancelled because of COVID, postponed, I beg your pardon, because of COVID. So win or lose today, Saints will go into Christmas at the top of the Southwest 1 West table. For the second time in their history they've been the top of the table since 1963, of course. Not far behind Keynsham are in 8th place on 27 points. Won 5, lost 6, but have improved recently, and I think nobody is under any illusion whatsoever from St Austell. This is going to be a very tough game indeed. They all are. If I just move across there, you can see Keynsham are on the way. They're just practicing a little bit before they come in. 2 o'clock kick-off scheduled in about 4 minutes' time, and I'll run you through the teams. As you can see, Keynsham front row is Phil Harvey, Joe Clements and Tim Coughlin. In the engine room are Jack Cowan and Matt Clifton, with Hayden Johnson, Ashley Linton and Jack Weston making it the back row, with Jack playing number 8 there. Scrum half and captain is John Pearce. Sam Challenger plays 10, Joe Concannon on one wing and Oliver Sayer on the other. Centres are Jim Miller and George Warren, with I'm not sure what the C stands for, but Mr Chester's at fullback, with Joe Wright, Ryan Harding and Miles Hackett on the bench. Takes you to St Austell. A couple of changes from last week's game. Brandon Hack comes in to replace the unavailable Dan Jobb. Miles Davey is hooking, captain again as usual. Charlie Nicholson holds up the tight hand side, the right tight and the right of the scrummage. Second row is Anthony Knight and Mark Vian. Back row, lovely return. Love to see Jack Grigg back today. Been regular first teamer for many years, of course, but been playing mostly seconds this season, sometimes through unavailability. And he's probably the only vegan player, I think, maybe in this league. Back row is made up. It continues with Rory Jago and Alan Keller moving from second row to back row in the absence of Carl Marriott, who's away today at a wedding. Pre-booked a long time ago. Apparently it's been cancelled several times. So have a lovely day, Carl. I'm sure you're watching. From there and back in the backs, CJ Boys continues at scrum half. Matt Shepherd, who's the club's leading point scorer with 145, is at 10. Centres are Ben Plummer and Connery Woodsey. Wingers, Alex Welland continues on the left where he played last week. Fraser Nottle on the right, and Archie Bees retains his place at fullback, which is lovely to see. Good young lad, only 18, but a real prospect. On the bench, Matt Boothby, Joe Maunder and Dan Tyrrell, and I'm no doubt at all that we'll be seeing them fairly early in the game. Referee today is Wayne Davis, man with the whistle, and I'll just remind everybody that if you're watching home or away, that without this guy we don't have a game today, so very big thanks to him for his efforts today. Time's just coming up to 2 minutes 2, and that gives us, and as you can see, the Saints side just coming onto the pitch. Apologies that I'm shooting from one end of the ground and not from the touch from the side, which I would normally try and do, but this is the only raised section in the club, and it's probably the best view we're going to get today, so I'll do my best to follow the action, as I hope you can stay with us. There are the Saints. As you can see, Matt Shepherd at the back there. Special mention to Matt's dad Bernie, who's still in hospital, still not very well. Hello to Bernie if you're listening, if you're watching. It's lovely to. And Merry Christmas to you, Bernie. I'm sure we're all thinking about you. We're all hoping that you'll be around to watch the game. There's Matt, your boy, who, as I said, is club's leading point scorer. Scored 2 last week, and I would hope that most people expecting him continuing that form. He's the main kicker, scored 143 points this season, including 12 tries, which makes him the leading try scorer, followed not far behind by Conrad Woodsey, who you can see is 2 matches left there, wearing number 13. And playing towards us from the far end are home side Keynsham. Last time these two teams met was in September, and Keynsham suffered the biggest defeat of the season that day, but I think it's fair to say that they travelled without their strongest team, and St Austell had a particularly good day. So anybody imagines it's going to be a repeat of that game is, I'm afraid, not being really realistic. It's going to be a tough game, everyone knows that, and we're looking forward to it. So coming up to kick off, exactly on 2 o'clock, and as you can see, on the far side, looks like Sam Challenger is going to be the kick-off, kicking from left to right as we look, and I think his forwards are lining up both sides, so it's difficult to know which way he's going to go from there. Right down the middle, and it looks like Matt Boothby isn't going to get his hands on the ball early. His second full start, and Shep decides to put boot to ball, test out the fullback early on, and Mr. Chester is well up to that and returns with interest, but I think he might kick straight to touch, but the referee says, I think you're offside there. Yes, he does. Yeah, offside against St Austell. He's bringing him back for a penalty. Might be a chance for Sam Challenger to have a kick at goal. More than likely he's going to go for the corner. No, he is going for goal, I beg your pardon. I think it's Sam Challenger, or is it? Hard to see from here. Yeah, it could be John Pearce actually. It is John. He had a very, very fine game when Keynsham travelled to St Austell early in the season. I think for me he was probably the man of the match. So just 2 minutes gone. Early chance for Keynsham to nudge themselves into the lead with a penalty probably best part of 35 metres out and about 10 metres to the right of the posts as John Pearce looks. You can hear the touch judge calling there. No. Just pushed it to the right. Shepwell is it down the park. And I think that's John Pearce again who does exactly the same thing, but Shep's there for the return. Bit of ping pong going on here. Taken cleanly by Mr. Chester at fullback, who decides he'll kick diagonally for the corner. And I think Shep's deciding I'm going to be trying out my kicking boots today, early doors, playing against the wind. But I can see why he would be. The referee decides actually you're in front there, so he's taking them right back up the field to where the ball landed. So St Austell will have, I think they're going to have a penalty. Pretty much the same situation. No, he's chosen to have a scrummage. So it must have been man in front. So it will be a first scrum of the game. Front rows: Phil Harvey, Joe Clements, and Tim Coghlan for Keynsham. And change lineup for St Austell today with 20-year-old Brandon Hack on the loose, Miles Davies skipper hooking as ever, wearing 21 today, and Charlie Nicholson on the tight. wouldn't ask a big favour. You can ask the girls if they can move down the other way a bit.
Try.
Yeah. Would you mind? Sorry, a bit of disturbance going on there. Fraser Knottle had a chance there, but he was stopped firmly in his tracks. Although that's Rory with the ball. Lovely counter-rucking by Keynsham. I think they might have won that, but maybe not. It's come back to Jack Grigg, who's isolated. Now it's Charlie Nicholson, beg your pardon, and he was turned over. There's Jack Grigg, very similar looking. Both got beards, both got short back and sides. Oh, thanks. Second scrum of the game with John Pearce to put in. So there beside CJ Boyce. St Austell's regular scrum half for many seasons now, can't too many to remember. Lovely big scrummage there by Keynsham. They really got the edge, got a nudge on there, and the penalty's coming. The referee's just waiting for an advantage. Any doubt, a loud and clear message on their intentions. I think that might have been knocked on. Beg your pardon. Yeah, the referee indicated, yeah, I think so. Forward pass. Caught me unawares. The referee today, Wayne Davis. We're in Norwich City colours. I'm sure that's just a coincidence. You would imagine that Keynsham are going to try and do exactly the same to Saints as they did in the last scrimmage, which was an early drive and keep it on. That's where a lot of penalties come from in the game. John Pearce put in. And I think he's got options both sides now. It's picked up by Jack Weston. And the hard yards there made by George Warren, and Keynsham retained the ball. That's John Pearce. Beg your pardon, that's Sam Challenger with the ball. CJ Boyce gets in the way and he's looking for support. Gets from Al Welland, who's the ball's taken off him. And Saints have a chance to go wide. But Penn Plummer decides there's a gap down there, which swiftly disappeared. Archie Bees at fullback has an opportunity to look up, and he does so, and he meets two defenders at the same time there, Archie. So Austell retain the ball, and I'm sure Matt Sheppey will look into clear. Nope, he does it himself. CJ, ball is not going to touch, looks like it's picked up by Oliver Sayer. Difficult to see from here, but there is a wind blowing directly towards us from the far end of the field, and Keynsham looking to take advantage of that. Matt Sheppard sensibly calls the mark. I think looking at his stance, he's saying, "Let's calm down a bit, boys, and play sensibly in the right part of the ground." Eight minutes gone, no score at the moment. Penalty missed early doors by Keynsham. Only really scoring opportunity so far, and that again does not find touch. And I think that could be Joe Concannon who runs back and retains the ball very well. That's Jack Cowan looking for a swift transfer. Ball just put in front, and you can see the referee indicates that went forward, so he'll bring it back for a scrummage. No, I beg your pardon, it must have gone backwards a bit into touch. This is the first line out of the game, and St Austell's normal go-to man, as you can see, is number 4 there at the front, Mark Vide. Indeed, he takes the ball cleanly.
Yeah, that's what he
Boyce misses Shepherd and goes straight to Sam Plummer, who feeds to Connery Woodsey, but it looks like on the loop round there there's been a mistake. All of it 100 miles an hour. With only 9 minutes gone, sides just settling in really. A lot of kicking, some cold hands. Chilly day today. Quite a strong, I'm guessing it's a northerly wind as we're looking directly north from here. It could be easterly actually, northeasterly wind. And both sides will be looking to make advantage of that in the first, well certainly Keynsham in the first half. John Pearce to put in. Don't forget, if you like what you're seeing, if you don't, you're welcome to make comments. And if you want to see more games, if you subscribe, like and subscribe, then you will receive notifications next time we cover the matches live. That's a lovely run there. Only 5 metres out. That's Concannon on the far side, and he's only 5 metres on the touchline, but good defence by Fraser Nottle. Took him row round the ankles. Keynsham recycle. Shep thought he'd stolen that. The referee said no, someone was offside in the middle of the field there. Yeah, there you are. Clearly indicating Keynsham may decide to have another pop at goal. Indeed they do. John Pearce kicked last time, I suspect he'll do the same again. No, I beg your pardon, it's not John Pearce, it's Sam Challenger who's going to kick. I think it's fair to say with 10 minutes gone that the home team Keynsham have had better part of possession. They've made good use of the wind, good use of their big forwards driving in and recycled several times. Snot will find it hard to get their hands on the ball. Certainly at scrum time Keynsham have had the edge. Long way to go though. So Sam Challenger looks to put Keynsham into the front, into the lead. This time he makes no mistake. So the score after 12 is Keynsham 3, St Austell 0. You can see over the far side that one of the Keynsham players is just receiving some treatment from the physio. Looks like it's Jack Cowan, who carried very well early on twice, led actually to the position where Keynsham were able to kick the first points of the game. Matt Shepherd to restart. But Anthony Knight got there first and passed it back to Mark Vian, and Saints started to go open. As you can see, quick hands. Archie Bees in the line but caught. Adam Kello only knows the one way to play, straight up, no mess around. I think there was advantage coming and Shep decided I'll take a risk here, which he did so, but the referee is bringing them back. What appears to be right over there, he was obviously playing advantage for an offside there, a high tackle indicating there. So that gives Matt Shepherd the opportunity to have a kick at goal if he chooses to do so. What he's done in recent weeks.
He's been working, he's been telling everybody. Yeah.
I cut back said, oh my god, I couldn't.
No, he decided to go over touch.
He's actually put it on there.
With a chance for a catch and drive with the line out.
Dreaded C, wasn't it? He said, no, he's a dreaded snip. Put a finger round Coogan.
From here it looks like Saints are probably just inside Keynsham's 22, and skipper Miles Davey wearing 21 today to throw in. Several options, but his normal go-to player is Vian, which he does again. The Goran farmer takes it with one hand, one enormous hand. And Saints attempt to rumble. The referee's saying, you're offside there, you can see it a mile away. Gives Saints a chance to have a little pop. CJ Boyce goes himself, and he's got there. I think that must be 3 tries I've seen from CJ Boyce this season, but he's done exactly the same thing. He's gone one way, dummied one, jinked back the other way, and scored from 10-15 metres out. Well played, CJ.
Dodgy stitches in, and
there he is.
Passing out, let's go back in a bit.
Frankenstein coming back.
That's what you've got to look forward to, mate.
Head stapled back together on the pitch with mud still in it. Oh.
Luckily, it grew back with tampons. Frankenstein or something.
Apologies for the wind noise. Bit of a breeze today. And it also means the camera shakes a little bit as well, but I'm doing the best I can. Matt Shepherd to attempt the extra 2.
Well, we're at the very top of the road, aren't we?
I've never been down this before.
Silbury, right, yeah. Just off Cadbury.
There's Al Welland and
It's a bit exposed, isn't it?
Mark Vian. Chips beautifully. Little 4-iron there to nudge St Austell in front by 7 points to 3 with 16 minutes played. Thank you once again if you've just joined us. You're watching Keynsham against St Austell in the Tribute Southwest 1 West League. One of the games been played today. Others have been cancelled or postponed due to COVID. In fact, I was just talking to a chap beside me who's come all the way from Chew Valley because their game against Bridgewater was postponed today. Lovely take, beautiful take there from Matt Clifton, who really got on the end of that. And Saints trying to hold him up to get him to take possession, but the referee's indicating, oh no, hold on. They've got to get to ground to keep the ball, they'll get it to the back. And so Austell kept him up, but it's moving forward, so the referee's playing on. That must have gone 15-20 metres from, and it actually looks like Mark Vian has stolen it. Rory Jago helps him out, goes to ground, but there's a counter ruck, very effective counter ruck, and I can't tell which way that's going. He's indicating you're offside. There was a ruck at the bottom and you came in at the side, says the referee. Give the chance for Matt Shepherd to perhaps make some ground and take away some of the pressure.
Well, look at this one.
3 points to Sam Challenger from an early penalty for offside. And St Austell 5, try by CJ Boyce on 17 minutes, converted by Matt Shepherd. So if you're just joining us, the score is Keynsham 3, St Austell 7. So far, been 3 no-outs and 3 catches by Mark Vian. Make that 3 and 1 miss. And it's picked up beautifully by Joe Clements. He tries to keep the ball alive, but the referee says no, it was knocked on, so they bring you back here, please, for a scrum. Came off Keynsham hand. I just had notification that the live stream is stuttering, that we're dropping frames. I'm afraid there's not much you can do about that if you're watching without restarting. Now this is actually broadcasting a lower frame rate. It's to do with the signal. to do with the signal, the broadband, the 4G signal, not broadband. Alan Keller picks up dummies. Mark Ryan carries, but he's well taken there. The referee looked, stopped his watch. I think he wants to have a chat with somebody. Yeah, it wants Miles Davey, 2 skippers, and John Pearce by the look of it. Something perhaps off the ball. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can see that the live stream is stuttering badly. I'm afraid I can't do much about that, so stick with us. Maybe it'll improve as the signal improves. Difficult to know what the ref's saying there, but he's brought them back for a scrummage with the St Austell ball. So with 20 minutes gone, the score is still Keynsham 3, St Austell 7. Only try by CJ Boyce. Keller picks up, but he's caught there by John Pearce. And he's helped out by Jack Grigg, and St Austell retain the ball. Lovely charge down, followed by looked like a knock on. I think the referee gave it against Matt Clifton. It wasn't his fault. He was diving as he tried to catch the ball. Had he done so, he'd probably have scored. So they'll have a scrummage to St Austell right on their own line, just 5 metres out. And you can be fairly sure that Keynsham will be looking to exert their dominance in the scrum at this point and drive St Austell backwards. But Saints will be looking for a quick ball, allow Shep to clear if he can. Once again, apologies if there is stuttering and from the stream. I can't make it any better than it is. Indeed they do. Big drive, picked up going backwards by Keller, who's over the line. He's looking for support early doors. Yeah, he's got it. And I think CJ Boyce is going to wallop this up in the air towards the touchline. But he's under pressure. Only goes as far as Oliver Sayer. He comes back in field. Hard to say whether that was a knock-on deliberate. Yeah, referee says indicated knock-on by Al Welland. No more than that, just a scrummage. He must have had 2 hands on the ball. So coming up to 24 minutes gone, score is still 7-3 to St Austell. Windy, chilly day, lovely to see some live rugby. There was an issue where last night all of the players of both teams had to have lateral flow tests to ensure no one was positive for COVID, and had they been so, the game was under threat. Other games have been postponed, and it looks very much as though I think the referee's indicating you stood up too early, so it's another penalty to Keynsham, just 8 metres out. And John Pearce says, stick it over there. will have a line out, catch and drive. Probably the best scoring or equal best scoring opportunity Keynsham will have had so far. Assuming they catch here, their driving moors work very well indeed, as does their scrummage. Although Mark Vine may have something to say about the line out. He's going to contest in front, as you can see. Taken by Cowan, but he unfortunately has knocked it forward. The referee's playing advantage to St Austell. CJ Boyce kicks it, but it doesn't find touch. It goes all the way to Oliver Sayer, who's well tackled by Al Welland. This goes open. Jim Miller comes back inside, retains possession. Oh, stolen there by Al Welland at the bottom of that ruck. And legally, says the referee. So CJ Boyce is able to clear. Although Matt Shepherd's just had his shorts modified for him. Brandon Hack, sporting the scrum cap, playing loose head today. He was 20 about a week ago. One of the lads just came all through the youth section. In fact, I think it's fair to say, looking at the team on the way up here, and I think every player in the St Austell team, with the exception of Anthony Knight, who's wearing 5 there, came through the mini junior youth section. And Anthony only because he only started playing later on. He's never played for any other club, so this is a complete team of local St Austell boys. That's not to say that we don't love Dan Jobb and Carl Marriott and a few others who joined our club, but it's lovely to see. It's a tribute to, I suppose, to the success of St Austell mini junior section. Slight delay there for attention to I think that's Joe Concannon. It's hard to say from here. No, it isn't. It is Hayden Johnson. He looks all right, and as you can see, the line out taken cleanly by it. That's Matt Clifton taking the ball in the burst there. Saints have had to defend. They've had to defend for most of this half, actually. And so far, they've done it effectively. Big tackle there by Connery Woodsy. He has not had much to do so far, apart from make the odd tackle. Saints playing the pod system there. You can see one man taken with 2 others, but it looks like looks like Charlie Nicholson was held up. The referee says no. I think there was a knock on over there, so he's bringing them back. Once again, apologies if the stream is stuttering. I will try and rectify that half time if I possibly can, although we don't get much time to do that. It's just a case of the speed of the 4G connection we use to stream off a telephone mast. Scrum St Austell about 10 metres from their own try line. As you can see, Archie B's there just behind it. And St Austell win that, and Ben Plummer storms up, makes a bit of room for Matt Shepherd, who decides to actually kick wide for Al Welland. Al stays and stands and watches as the ball bounces, then goes into touch. So it will be a line out to Keynsham. Well, with coming up to half an hour gone, and certainly the last 10-12 minutes of it has been Keynsham been camped in St Austell's 22. Had 2 or 3 really good scoring chances, but the Saints' defence has held out so far. So the score remains Keynsham 3, St Austell 7. Sole try to CJ Boyce, converted by Matt Shepherd in answer to an early penalty by Sam Challenger. Joe Clements to put in. Goes straight to the back, won by, I think that was Miles Davey, the skipper. There's Adam Kello, making the hard yards as he does so well. Playing 8 today in the absence of Carl Marriott, makes a little difference to him. Connery Woods, he gets man and 2 men and ball, offloads to Fraser Knottle, who has nowhere to go, so he brings the ball back. Saints forwards looking to pick and drive here. No, the referee's indicating an advantage for an offside again. This referee Wayne Davis. Matt Shepherd goes early, but he's caught and upended by, I think it was Chester at fullback. Hard to say from here without seeing numbers. Dostal still have the ball, and the referee indicates no, you're offside. Gives Dostal a chance to get out of their half for perhaps the first time in 15 minutes, as we are 10 minutes away from half time. Shep's looking to make some ground by putting the ball in the corner. And just hear that, someone with a very flash car in the background on the motorway. So far, the line out has proved to be the best source of possession for St Austell. They've gone to Mark Vine 3 times, Anthony Knight's taken 1, and they've stolen 1 against the head. Whereas in the scrummage, Keynsham have definitely had the edge. Davey goes to Anthony Knight, who catches and passes in 1 movement. Shep features Archie Bees, but he's right into no gap there at all. Archie recycles. Although Knight to Kello. That Shepherd, big long looping pass to Ben Plummer, who tackled beautifully there. I think that was Hayden Johnson. Not only did he make the tackle, he brought a penalty for, I think it might have been, not releasing from Ben Plummer. So gives Sam Chalmers a chance to make some yards and put Keynsham right back into. No, he doesn't find touch. That Shepherd does, but he doesn't make much yardage out of that. Well, as we predicted and expected, it's been an extraordinarily tight game so far, nothing in it. Home side have come out gunning for league leaders, and at the moment you wouldn't imagine there are 7 places between these 2 teams in the league. In fact, I think it's fair to say that Keynsham have had the edge in the first half, despite being down on the scoreboard by 4. The score is still 7 points to 3. We are about 7 minutes from half time. Joe Clements to put in. So far he's successfully hit Matt Clifton and Jack Cowan twice in the game. I suspect he'll be looking to do the same, but there is a hold up. It looks to me like an injury to one of the Keynsham players. No, it's an Austell player. It is Al Welland, left winger over there on the right. He looks like he's sustained a knock to the head. Al Welland, who's a merchant seaman, told me last week that he's looking just only taking short jobs, so he's not away for too long, so he can play rugby, and that's lovely to see. Been a player at the club. You can see the referee having a quick look at Al, telling him, "You're still handsome, Al, don't worry." Been a player at the club since the under-14s level, so that's 17 years ago in his case. Although I think it's fair to say he's been off and on because he's been away working an awful lot. Love to see him back. One of those players who only ever gives 100% commitment. Joe Clements put in. Yeah, he goes to Ashley Linton that time. Big tall number 7, who's had an effective game so far. He's been around everywhere with the loose, and he's run. There he is again, Ashley Linton, open side flanker. Going to have an overlap here. John Pearce chips ahead. Matt Shepherd's there to rescue St Austell. But straight back under pressure. I think they're probably hoping for half time to come sooner than it will. Bearing in mind they've spent the last 20 minutes hitting their own half, and probably most of that in their own 22. Joe Clements, the hooker, has effectively hit Ashley Linton and Matt Johnson, the last one. Matt Clifton, I beg your pardon. He goes short, but Mark Vian read it and got his hands in there first. No, I think that might have been Charlie Nicholson there, who's penalised for not releasing in the tackle. More pressure. Sean Pearce looks, hands the ball to Sam Challenger, who's going to stick it in the corner and give Keynsham a chance to score critically just before the hard time break, which he does. There's like nothing more Keynsham than to go in half time with their noses in front, and let's be frank, on terms of possession and territory they're probably worth it, although St Austell have had one chance to score and they've taken it, and they've defended doggedly. He goes to Ashley Linton in the centre, but the ball comes shooting out. CJ Boyce finds he gets the ball and 2 Keynsham players with it. Referee says no, you'll have a scrum there, but it was knocked forward. Just going to say hello to Bernie if you're watching, Bernie. Hope you're feeling okay. Bernie's up there, well, he's in his holiday home, which is in a hotel overlooking the beach in Cornwall. Part of the NHS service. Bernie's not been very well recently, and we're always thinking about you, wishing you Merry Christmas, and hope you are better soon. And with a bit of luck, we'll come and see you next week, Bernie. Bernie's lad Matt, of course, playing 10 for St Austell. CJ Boyce has the opportunity now if the Saints can get an edge in the scrummage, and it's an area where Keynsham have shown they've had the edge right through the game. I think in every occasion they've had St Austell going backwards. This time Saints lock out, and Boyce feeds Shepherd, who makes 20 metres down the touchline. Once again, apologies if your coverage is stuttering. I'm going to attempt to fix it at half time. If for any reason you should lose the coverage, just go back to the St Austell RFC YouTube channel. Just search for it on Google, any way you like, and the stream will be resumed as soon as I can get it working. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the frame rate and see if it makes a difference. Joe Clements put in. This time he goes right to the back, and it's taken by Phil Harvey, who... No, it's not Phil Harvey, I beg your pardon, it's Tim Coughlin. You can see there that Jack Weston, who put the ball up, was isolated, and Saints have turned him over. I think Jack Grigg got his hands on the ball. And they'll be very, very happy to keep that. Run down the clock. You can see there the referee saying, no, hands on the ground. You're fairly sure that half-time team talk for Keynsham is going to be along the lines of just slow down a bit, guys. You're giving away possession when you don't need to. You get hold of it, keep hold of it, keep the ball, keep the ball. They've allowed St Austell to turn them over, I think, probably 3 times in this half. When they had possession, territory, and lots of pressure, but only 3 points to show for it. Match Sheffield says I'll take the time. And referee Wayne Davis having a chat with John Pearce over there. No, it's not John Pearce, beg your pardon, it's Ashley Linton. And he's also talking to Miles Davey. I think he's indicating that, that somewhere along the line, unless there's an improvement around the ruck area, he'll be forced to put his hand in his pocket. Yeah, he's asked the skippers to talk to the whole teams. So I make it 40 minutes played, but my clock doesn't count. It's only Mr. Davis's clock that counts, and I'm guessing it's a couple of minutes to the half-time break. Saints will be very, very happy. This will go into touch, win the line out, run down the clock, and start the second half with the win behind them, and perhaps try and gain a bit of ground and territory and a mount an attack or two, because thus far they've had very little opportunity. One chance taken. Try by CJ Boyce. Ryan unable to take it cleanly, taps it back, and CJ himself unable to pick it up around his bootlaces. So perhaps the last opportunity in this half for Keynsham to mount an attack, with the opportunity for them to get their noses in front before half time. Pearce puts in, once again, drive from Keynsham, keep the ball at the back of the scrum. It's wheeled, but he's indicated, the referee's got his arm in the air saying there's an advantage here, so they're going to play on. And it's picked up by big Jack Weston. The referee says no advantage coming there, so bring it back for a penalty. Now there's probably just about time for a kick to the corner, catch drive line out, and Keynsham to score some more points. Sam Challenger with the ball. Nice little nudge there, brings play to about 10 metres from St Austell's line, and there'll be a Keynsham line out. Look at Joe Clements there, has hit Ashley Linton several times, but he's not in this line. With a shortened line out, so my guess is he's going to go, beg your pardon, he is there. Mark Vine's going to try and get in the way, and instead he goes to the back to Jack Cowan, but St Austell stream through the line. Lovely hands there by Keynsham, beautiful hands, but the ball went forward. Referee glances at his watch saying can't be long left. It'll be a St Austell scrum just before half time. I make it 43 minutes played, but obviously there's been a break for a couple of injuries, and also the referee asked both skippers to talk to both sets of players about infringements at the breakdown. Front row, Phil Harvey, Joe Clements and Tim Coghlan for Keynsham have performed very well so far. They've really had the advantage, and against Brandon Hack, Miles Davey and Charlie Nicholson for St Austell. You can see Adam Keller at the back there, number 8, and St Austell once again gets squeezed. Connery Woods here has a go. Alex Wellen beats 1-2 tackles and he gets away. but he won't beat the third tackle
20 minutes ago.
coming in from Oliver Sayer. Hello, referee's got his card out and he's showed it to one of the... Yeah, I think it might be for a high tackle there. No complaints about that. Nice to see Matt Shepherd, who I didn't see it personally. One of those things where the referees have no option but to penalise high tackle, whether it's intentional or not. But relieves St Austell with a penalty just inside their own half, with half time coming up fairly soon. So I'm guessing Shep's going to look to touch. Oh no, he's going to look to have a go at a pop. That must be 52 metres. And he's going to have a kick at goal. I suppose if he was cynical, you could say that he set the clock, but it's certainly within his range, although there's a breeze against him, which seems to have died down a little bit. There's Danny Tyrrell, who was currently acting as water boy, but he'll be playing later on. Archie Bees at fullback. Solid game, as ever. So Matt Shepherd looking to put St Austell to a 7-point advantage at the break. Very difficult kick. Doesn't look it from here, but that's inside St Austell's half, so that must be 52, 53 metres away. No, he's pulled it left. Quite clearly, difficult kick. Referee says that'll do for half time, guys. So I'm going to leave you for a few moments, and I'm going to try and fix the streaming. So join us again in about 5 minutes at half time. Half time score: St Austell just in front, 3 points to 7. Single try to CJ Boyce. That's the best I can do. Can't do any better than that. Yeah, missing the front row, aren't we? We're missing. We're giving away 2 or 3 stones of their props.
This is, and I'm very biased. This is where you need to put down with it. Because they won't know, will they?
Yeah, no.
They haven't got a fucking clue. And you of course have it.
No, you're right.
And you won't tell Phil Brown 7-3 up.
7-3.
7-3.
I'd have it on now.
I just go on, because chances are, you know, because
I suspect he'll play. I reckon he'll get 20-25.
yeah. But what I'm saying
Fair
is,
enough.
it's a tough game.
Yeah, it is.
We haven't got the forwards. Daniel Fry's a big forward pack.
He's the best. He like gaps where there aren't any gaps.
Yeah,
away.
exactly.
I personally like him. Who kicked out then? Shep. No, it was Shep. Yeah. I don't think he ever thought he was going to get it. I think he just did it because he knew it was half time. It was running the clock now. I've got a problem with streaming.
Good job there, penalty.
How many chances they had where they should have scored? They should have scored just here. Well, partly that. Our defence is really good. They go off the field, don't they?
I had the worst vantage point possible for our try. Who scored? Who?
CJ boys.
It was CJ. I thought it was CJ. Oh yeah.
He did it again. Went that way, jinked half a dummy.
Oh, it's a good
beat three
try.
player. He scored exactly the same try at home 2 weeks ago.
I mean,
Tomorrow after half-time,
that's some defensive set, really. I mean,
That's been the difference. But we should be losing.
why, oh why did they insist on kicking for the corner when they're scrum? Even their coach. Now I don't like this. I was talking to one of their lots. Their coach is walking up and down, coaching them, bringing the water on, just like the professionals. I can't stand that. And he's giving them a right bollocking. Why are you kicking for? Because their line out hadn't functioned at all.
It's all right.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. No, actually, it's only that one. I need to. No, I can't change it. I'll do that. Mute that. Right, I beg your pardon if I've been muted a little by them, I had the wrong microphone selected. Operator error. There's Matt Shepherd, who's obviously a cause for concern, and it's very difficult to see this far away, but it looks to me like he's got an injury to his face, maybe to his tooth or a lip. Matt, yeah, you can see he's got blood coming out, so he must have cut himself. He's getting help from the physio, and he wants to play on. The referee's been very, very patient with him. We all want to see him play. And the rest of the players standing around hoping to keep themselves warm. See if Matt resumes. Snost will have Danny Tyrrell on the bench, and I'm guessing it'll be as if Matt is unable to continue, there'll be a bit of a reorganisation.
Johnny, quick question.
No, he stayed on, or has he? He's walking towards the touchline now. That's the other touchline. No, looks like Matt stays down, and Danny Tyrrell comes on. Danny's taken up position just behind the scrum, so he's going to 9 to scrum half, which means that it looks very much as though, can't tell from here who's going to 10. But the ball, there's Danny Tyrrell, first touch, and Al Welland has a run. He takes some stopping, does Al. Does very well indeed. Adam Kello, he takes some stopping as well. The referee indicated it's quite clear that at the ruck there, I think it was Rory Jago came in from the side of the ruck. So it would be a penalty to Keynsham. And Sam Challenger puts the ball down back inside or close to the St Austell 22, and they will have the line out. No one to see anybody injured like that in Matt Shepherd's case, but it's lovely to see young Danny Tyrrell on. Danny's one of those lads who's very versatile. He can play pretty much any position in the backs. He's enormously quick, and he tends to find gaps where others don't. Joe Clements put in, and he'll either go to Jack Cowan or Matt Clifton, which he's done all day. Beg pardon, he's gone to Ashley Linton in the centre there. And Jim Miller has a run, goes right through the gap. The other centre, George Warren, has he makes 5 or 6 yards. Ball just in front, but caught well there by Tim Coughlin. It's a neat little chip in behind there, and it's very hard for I think that's CJ Boyce who got there first and threw the ball back in field, but he might have thrown it to I think he did. What happened there, he throwed it and threw it to one of his own players, but there was a knock on, so Keynsham will have the scrummage just about on the St Austell 22. Not sure who that is. Wearing 22, it could be one of the replacements. Joe Wright, Ryan Harding or Miles Hackett. But the numbers aren't listed. So I'm going to have to describe him as the scrum half, I beg your pardon. Yet another break in play for an injury, this time to Al Welland, I think. Yeah, there's Al over there, look. He had some attention earlier on in the game, and it looks to me like he's perhaps had a cut and it's opened again. Al's okay. Referee starts with a scrummage to Keynsham on St Austell 22 from a knock on a minute or so ago.
When he said it.
Overlap emerging here. Oh, unfortunate there. Wasn't able to hold it. I think that's John Pearce. He might have moved out into the centre and been replaced at scrum half. You have to give Keynsham their due. Every opportunity they have, they move the ball, move it wide, and they back up. But it's a cold, windy day, and sometimes that ambition has not paid off. Cold hands, the odd drop pass, and has to be said, some good defence by St Austell, because they've been under pressure for most of this game, and as they still are. There's Danny Tyrrell. Good big drive on there from Keynsham, but Adam Kello picks up early, and Saints have a chance to have a run. Oh, well in his court, but he feeds Conor Woodsey, who he's pulled into touch there. Good tackle, I think, from George Warren, and it will be a line out to Keynsham, probably about 10 metres inside St Austell's half. Currently St Austell are 4 points clear at the top of the league. Keynsham some 7 places behind them in 8th place. We've had some good results recently, including a win at Old Petitians last week. But you look at these two teams today, it would be hard to judge which team is top and which isn't, and which team is in 8th. In fact, you might think they're in the wrong shirts.
Right, sir. What about the bid? Thank you.
Matt Climpton, who received a yellow card for a high tackle just before half time, comes back on. And there's also another substitution from Keynsham, and it looks like hard to know who it is. I'll just have to refer to positions, I beg your pardon. Offsides is a ref. That's a shame, because Jack Weston thought he'd got hold of Danny Tyrrell, but he did have hold of Danny Tyrrell. I know Danny will be most relieved because he's probably twice his size. So Archie Beast to clear. I think it's been fair to say it's a game characterised so far by a series of stoppages, lots of penalties, not a lot of open, exciting rugby, but it's certainly tense, and it's very close. Only one score, still 3-7 to Saints, as Keynsham got the blind side. And that's Phil Harvey. Keynsham prop, wins the ball. Conor Woodie misses the tackle. Ben Plummer helps him out, and then Conor Beck gets back to make the next one. CJ Boyce has a chance. He was looking for support, gets it in the shape of Archie Bees, and Archie would probably have got in there. The referee indicates that was a forward pass. First chance he really had to show his pace, Archie. So the referee brings it back. There'll be a scrummage to Keynsham, which they'd be happy to do all day because they've certainly had the edge in that department. Once again, apologies for stuttery feed. It's to do with the speed of the 4G connection.
He had 2 lateral flips each
Keynsham get a nudge on again in the scrum, and they're looking for, yeah, they've got it already, penalty advantage. Well, it rotates around, and Danny Tyrrell pinched it. No, he didn't. There's a kick ahead there, and the ball goes into touch right up near St Austell's try line. The referee's going to bring him back for the offence at the scrummage there, which I think was probably hard to say. Probably rotating the scrum. Could do with the referee handy. Where's Fred when you need him? That's probably the best part of half an hour with no addition to the scoreboard. And as you can see, Miles Davies having a discussion with Wayne Davis, referee, about what's going on in the scrum there, guys. Brandon Hack, I think, is having words as well. But this will give Keynsham the chance. Yeah, they're going for goal. It's, which is a bit of a change of tactic, because so far both sides, at every opportunity, have kicked for the line out. And I think Sam Challenger is going to have a kick. Looking at that, it's probably the best part of 40-45 metres out, wide on the right. The angle's deceptive from here, but that's not an easy kick, although there isn't a lot of wind around like there was in the first half. You can see where it's coming from, because this would move the score to 7-6, which makes it a 1-point game. So any score after that would Keynsham would put them in front. So Sam Challenger, attempt wide on the left. He's hooked it left. Ball goes to Danny Tyrrell, who attempts to try and touch it, doesn't do so. Let's look at Joe Clements answering with interest just there. Ball comes loose, but shotgun cannon evades Connery Woodsey. Connor gets back quickly though. And once again, Keynsham retain the ball and continue the pressure. That's Matt Clifton. He says, what am I doing second row in middle of the park? I go up the middle, like all second rows have to. Jack Cowan, no, not Jack Cowan, Tim Coughlin.
You can see it, I was going to say.
That's Jim Miller, the centre, who once again makes a hard yard in the centre.
Come back there.
Rory Jago with the tackle. And once again, concerted pressure, series of phases from Keynsham, but the referee's blowing the whistle. It looks to me like it's for an injury to a St Austell player. I can't see who that is. It's not CJ, boys. Looks like smart. No, it's Charlie Nicholson, the prop. And he looks to me like he might have hurt himself. Yes, he certainly has. You can see even from here, Charlie has his right knee heavily strapped. He's had to for some time. and I think maybe he's not looking in a good shape, Charlie. You can ill afford to be without him. Although Saints do have Matt Booby on the bench. I can see from here that Matt Booby's warming up, because Charlie Nicholson looks to me like he's going to have to leave the field. He certainly won't want to.
Fucking hell, yeah. Oh, that's
Well, I have to say this is absolutely nothing like the first time these two teams met earlier in the season, September the 11th, where St Austell had scored 6 tries, Keynsham scored 2, and the final score was 42 points to 10. This is the game where Keynsham have dominated possession and territory, and St Austell have had one chance and scored. Now, Charlie Nicholson looks to me like he's going to play on. Maybe it wasn't as serious as we thought. Yeah, he is. Yeah, maybe it was just a soft tissue injury rather than a strain to a ligament or something worse. Scrum half for Keynsham to put in. And Keynsham have had the edge in the scrum all day. Get a shove on once again. Yeah, you can see number 22 there is urging them on. Pick up by Jack Weston. That's a chance. Lovely try. I think that's John Pearce, but I'm not absolutely certain. He was playing scrum half in the first half. There he is. Really nicely worked try there from a pick up at the scrum. Quick hands. And you have to say at this point that lead, 8 points to 7, is no less than Keynsham deserve for their all the territory and all the possession they've had in this game. Perhaps slightly easier conversion than the penalty attempted a few moments ago by Sam Challenger to put Keynsham from 3 points down to 3 points up. 4 points up, beg your pardon. Full count.
Smash it into the ground.
No, he's missed it, so it's a 1 point game. Keynsham 8, St Austell 7, and I make it about 17 minutes remaining of the second half. Saints have lost Matt Shepherd to an injury early on. Early on in the second half, I'd say, it looks to me like he got a knock to the face. And since then, Archie Bees has taken over the kicking duties. Since then, CJ Boyce has gone to 10, and Danny Tyrrell has come on at scrum half. That's a good check by Jack Weston there. And he takes it on the run, he keeps the ball well. Now, with their noses in front, you imagine that Keynsham have the opportunity to take a few more risks. Certainly well retained there. Alan Keller comes away with the ball and stolen it. That's a Rijago. Some more of the same. But one of the Keynsham players just went in there, bit of effective Jacqueline, stole the ball, and the scrum half, his name I don't know, continues to put pressure with CJ Boyce, the opportunity to clear. And he has found touch this time. Pretty much on the halfway line there.
Because Tom's going to run like that. Pumped up. Bad 3 at home.
John's now. He's
People you don't
he's
want to
got
go
a
out with.
one-on-one drinking with Boston. We started warming up on Thursday night.
There's Matt Boothby on the far side, who may have come on to replace Charlie Nicholson. I think he must have done.
Rubbing tequila on his chest.
That confused me as well. The short ball, which Keynsham win. Welland takes it. And Connery Woodsy has a chance in the open. When he gets away, he's extremely fast, Connor. He hasn't got away yet, or has he? He has. We're looking for support, but he dropped the ball. And it's picked up well by the try scorer, John Pearce. He's once again looking to there he is. I said earlier on, one of the most effective players when St Austell welcomed Keynsham earlier in the season. He had a cracking game. Penalty against, yeah, looks to me like holding on. Mark Vine comes up at the bottom of it. It might have been him, hard to know.
Could not give that, could he?
His tyres will be a nightmare.
Smash! There's a big screen.
Scrum half nudges it to the corner. Bit of respite there as Sam Challenger receives some attention. Looks to me like he might have hurt his neck slightly. He's moving his head. He looks okay. As Keynsham's 8, been very effective this afternoon at winning and retaining the ball. Very different game to the one played in September. Score is Keynsham 8, St Austell 7. Tries by scrum half CJ Boyce, and I think, not certain, John Pearce, who played scrum half in the first half and moved out in the second. Joe Clements put in, taken cleanly off the top there by Ashley Linton. You can see that he's there again, Clements, and it looks like he put the ball down. Referee says no, the ball went forward. Yeah, you can see from here.
Or someone feel like
Well, by my watch, there's about 10, slightly, or 11 minutes or so to go in the second half, and the score is Keynsham 8, St Austell 7. Not a festival of open running rugby, but it's one of those tough games. St Austell had the nose in front, but they've had so few opportunities. Danny Tyrrell clears. It's taken by John Concannon, who brings it back in. That's Jim Miller. Basketball going on here from the Keynsham forwards, but they've kept the ball well. Concerted pressure close to the line. There must be 5 metres out. But the referee once again indicates no, you were holding on. And I think that time it might have been Phil Harvey. It's hard to say from here. But But St Austell will be very, very happy. They have the chance to relieve some of the pressure, and you can be fairly sure that CJ Boyce will. No, sorry, Archie Bees. He's taken over the kicking duties from the replaced Matt Shepherd, who went off with injury. Kicks to touch. Miles Davey finds the Goron Lighthouse. Ball spun wide once again to Connery Woodsey, who does his usual look for the outside, but he's been very well closed down today. Scored 2 lovely tries against Bridgewater and Albion last week. Had no opportunities at all. There's Ori Jago playing open side again. Archie Bees goes for touch, and this time he makes it. Touching it too.
Excellent goal.
This guy's going to show you called a knuckle. He's not sure if it's legal.
He's written a piece on there, yeah.
He wrote a book.
Keynsham mounts another attack. It's John Pearce again, who's been very effective going forward. It looks like Connery Woodsey has it covered, but he gets man and ball, and Danny Tyrrell's burrowing. And looks like Mark Vines played scrum half.
I admit it's an unlikely choice.
And he goes as far as Oliver Sayer. And Keynsham once again retain possession and look to move. It's number 6, Aidan Johnson.
Should have known yeah,
CJ Boyce decides quite sensibly, let's try and get out of our own half, which probably 3/4 of this game has been played in St Austell halves, in both halves of this.
You happy at knuckle?
Leaders have struggled for possession today, there's no doubt about it. Defended well at times, but the amount of possession Keynsham have had, you can quite understand why they have a lead. Maybe even should have a slightly better lead than this. 8-7, Keynsham.
Shall we have a pint of vodka first to start?
Taken by Ashley Linton, but he lost it just after. The referee said no, it was knocked on by St Austell before he did so. So let's have a scrummage, please.
Bring your A game. Bring your A game. John's already had 4. Give me that. Right. Scotch at him to warm up.
Hurry up, Tom. John's on the table.
The thing is, if people are going for James' sister, it's not even going. This gets better. Yeah.
I'd love Tom to call next time. You're just bitter, right?
Keynsham puts in, but Saints have stolen one against the head, and while Alan Keller tried to be up, he wasn't able to because he was going backwards. Although, yeah, the referee says hands on the ground. Hands in the ruck there, so it'll be a penalty to Keynsham. Just inside their own half, and you can be fairly sure they'll play for a bit of possession, a bit of territory here. There's Joe Clements on the ground. Fine game. Thrown in very well. Run the park. and made some big tackles. Keynsham be very happy. It's not a scrummage, it's a penalty, but they'll be happy to kick for the line out.
Done. Yeah, just kick him out the car.
Sam Challenger. Oh, well, and dives, brings the ball back in field. The ref says no, he knocked it forward, so it's a scrummage.
You have to land.
Came forward off his hands.
So you can't palm the ball and then land out.
They'll be happy scrummaging all day.
You can't beyond the field, jump back, knock the ball back in while you're in the air and then land off field. Technically you can do that. Yeah, you have to be already off field and jump in. What do you know when you're off?
Not sure who the 22 scrum half is. It could be Joe Wright. Really don't know. But he's came on second half, and John Pearce, who played in the first half, has moved out, I think. Once again, they won a penalty from driving hard in the scrummage. It's an hostile rotate, and that's another penalty to Keynsham, and a yellow card to Brandon Hack. He's been sent to the bin. You can't say one here what it's for, but the scrum rotator, so maybe it was for pushing or pulling and not pushing. Bit of a mystery front row anyway to the likes of me.
Only if it touches the line. It's got to be full time, surely, almost.
Yeah, must be.
It raises the question of who's going to play. That means they're going to have to bring back on. Brandon Hack's gone off. Matt Boothby, the replacement, and Miles Davey, hooker, are on, but they don't have another prop available. Or another person who can play in the front row. So either got to go for uncontested scrummages, which will certainly not suit Keynsham today. Charlie Nicholson went off injured. Brandon Hack's off in the bin. Saints do not have another front row player. And you can see there Ashley Linton saying, "What about him, sir?" So does that mean an uncontested scrummage? We'll find out in a moment. Yes, it is. The scrum half puts in and feeds challenger. Short ball, and they go wide. I think that's Sean Pearce again. See, scrum half goes quickly in his own, but the referee's indicating high tackle. It's Joe Maunder. Oh no, it was CJ Boyce, I think, was the last one up. Was it Joe Maunder? About 10-12 metres out, and I suspect, as it's uncontested, that yeah, indeed Keynsham decided to go for the scrum, give them a chance to increase their lead, clean possession. Still leading 8-7 with 6-7 or so minutes remaining, although there have been several stoppages in the second half. For injury particularly, one to Matt Shepherd and also to Charlie Nicholson. Number 8 picks up.
keep going that way. Just keep going that way. Go right to the post. Just go again. Go again. Go back to the back. To the back.
Oh, they've got to score now. Just give it.
That's how Warren.
Yeah.
And that's Pierce again. Great hands, I have to say. Lovely hands from Vic up there. Just created the overlap, extra man on the field. And I think that's John Pierce, who scored the first try. Really hard to say because the numbers don't match.
You didn't understand. I probably went a large. Have that parallel.
That moves the score on to Keynsham 13, St Austell 7, with the conversion to come. And so far Sam Challenger's done the kicking. I think that's him attempting this one. Wide on the right. We're keen to get this because that will put them a whole 2 scores clear. Gives it some willy. But it goes across the posts, and the score remains 13-7 to Keynsham. Archibald with the restart. Come off, makes a lovely kick from inside his own 22, makes a good 45 metres. Adam Kellogg decides to run, but he's well tackled there. Plumber through Woodsy. Another super tackle by George Warren. Skipper Miles Davey. This is where Danny Tyrrell often will just tap and go, but he didn't have the ball, so Miles gives it to Archie Beast. He's going to, I think, look to put some pressure and try and get down in Keynsham's half. Still time, only 1 score in it. They've got nothing to lose now. They've really got to go for it, haven't they? I suspect he'll, as ever, unlucky the ball's lost, but picked up by Vine, who's having a run. He can defeat Danny Tyrrell, who has the ball taken off him by, I think it was Tim Coughlin.
Why not right down in that corner? It's fallen away and kicked right up. Stay on top of that kick.
And Keller again, who's carried very well today against difficult odds, against a big set of forwards and lack of possession.
Oh, we got glass.
I think that's Joe Maunder, play away in 16 or 17. Hard to say. Miles Davey does the usual, retains the ball. Referee says no, he knocked it on. And you can hear from the Keynsham supporters that they think it's all over. Referee checks his watch, there can't be long left. Scrum just inside Keynsham's own half. A few minutes to go, they'll be looking to win and probably kick to the corners.
Bottom right hand corner's looking the best place to go.
That's the replacement scrum half there. It could be Joe Wright, Ryan Harding or Miles Hackett. One of those three, but either way he's had a very good game since he came on. Scrums are uncontested because Brandon Hack is in the bin. Yeah, George Warren couldn't hold it, but the ball went backwards, so he played on. And Scrum half kicks, and Archie Booth just leaves it. The ball went starting to touch, so they have a line out where he kicked the ball from, and Miles Davies probably going to look to go to Vian, or maybe to Joe Maunder. Yeah, it looks like Vian at the back. Yeah, very clean. He's been marshalled so well all day. One of St Austell's most successful players this season, in Connery Woods here, and he's had no chance at all today. Every time he's got the ball, he's had 2 defenders fit him. Kello goes. You know what he'll do? Yeah. Tyrrell to Vian. Tyrrell to Davey. It's a bit hair and scare and something. St Austell have got nothing to lose. They've got to go for it. You get wide to Al Welland, who's got a man outside, but he's caught, I think, by John Concannon again. That's Joe Maunder, who's just come on recently. Archie Bees.
It's 13-5, eh? 13-5.
Yeah, you can see that. Very happy with that. Held on. Lots and lots. I don't know how they're counted, but I haven't. The penalties in this game. Usually at the breakdown. Referee Wayne Davis has been very strict on players holding on because he wants to keep the game flowing. So Keynsham had the chance just to put it down there, put it into touch, but it's caught by Al Welland, who gives it some welly. But he went straight into touch from when he's outside the 22. So he's given the ball back to Keynsham. And it is, that's the halfway line just there.
But let him make them down there.
Put it down the floor and kick it.
So what are you doing? What are you
He got there and he gave us the name of the pub and it was on the computer.
But there's only 2 pubs, it can't be that hard.
No, it was a different pub again.
The New Inn,
No,
one's called the New Inn,
no,
and one's
it
the
was
top of the hill. It's George.
No, the sports club, but he didn't tell us.
Oh, by the tennis courts.
Yeah.
He's into tennis now, isn't he?
There's Brandon Hack, who's in the bin. He must be fairly close going back on now. I think he's in about 8 minutes, and of course that means the scrums have been uncontested, which probably suits St Austell because it's not an area where they've performed very well today. That's John Pearce, who scored 2 tries, but he was well marshalled there. Ben Plum has a go, but he's tackled beautifully by, I think it's Jim Miller. Matt Boothby, but again he's tackled hard. St Austell are fighting bravely. To be honest, they've been outplayed today. And the ball's been turned over. Keynsham scrum half looks, he's complaining about how well I'm being on the wrong side, but Al says I'm trapped. Mark Vine covering the winger. There's an overlap here, but he does not run in. Yeah, although John Pearce has got to it. The ball went forward, I think. It didn't make any difference because the referee blows the final whistle. And Keynsham are deserved winners by 13 points to 7, which means they'll get the spoils, the 4 points, and so they'll come away with a bonus point. But that also means they'll stay top of the league, although teams behind them will have a game in hand. So thank you very much indeed for watching. We look forward to seeing you all after Christmas, and in the meantime have a very happy Christmas and a good New Year. Thanks for watching.
Well, everyone else has.
There's something going up there.
I suppose it's fun. I bet he gets my food. He gets small time.